Hey guys, Danny Carlson here. So this video is going to be all about the psychology of shoppers on Amazon. What is going through their head when they're actually making a purchasing decision? How do they choose your product over their competitors? What information are they looking for on the pages? This is the experience that I've accumulated over creating more than 700 Amazon listings for clients and then seeing the data based off of that. So let's get into some of the reasons. So first off, when it comes to e-commerce and buying stuff online, Amazon has gotten rid of the two biggest barriers to buying stuff online, which is the trust factor. So people now trust Amazon having their credit cards on file, and they trust that they're not going to get scammed because Amazon has the A to Z guarantee, which basically means that Amazon customers can get a refund on anything for whatever they want. I actually purchased this mic set off Amazon, and if I wanted to, I could just use it for 30 to 60 days or whatever the policy is and just return it and get all my money back. So really builds a lot of trust with the customers. The second thing that Amazon solved is the shipping times. It used to be that if you buy something online, at the fastest you're probably going to get it in a week, and it was quite common to order something and then realize it's actually getting shipped from China, and then you're not going to get it for 2 months, and that pissed a lot of people off, right? So for years and years, there was e-commerce and not that many people bought online, but then Amazon solved both of those things with their A to Z guarantee and Amazon Prime, where you get your stuff in 2 days or less. And a lot of cities, 1 hour or less, which is kind of crazy. Pretty soon it's gonna you're gonna 3D print it out of your house or something. Okay, so now let's get into some of the ways that Amazon shoppers are actually thinking, some of the things that are going through their mind when they're shopping for products and trying to find the perfect product for them. So the first thing, the most important thing is the main image, the hero image. So that's going to be your image that shows up on the search results page. And if that's not a great image, if that's not going to stop the customer from scrolling on the search results and clicking on your listing, then it doesn't matter how good the rest of your pictures are, if you have enhanced brand content or any of that fancy stuff, because the customer is never actually going to see it. So your main image has to be really nice, taking up the most space possible so that it's taking up most of the frame. It shows up big on the search results page. Also consider putting a reflection effect or a shadow effect on there. Amazon is usually okay with just a very small reflection or shadow effect on there, as long as it looks realistic. You don't make it crazy, right? But stuff like that's going to increase your conversion rate. Also, the lighting has got to be really, really good. Not some like weird light coming from the side, taken on your cell phone. I know iPhones have good cameras these days, but get a professional to actually do some really good quality lighting and take really good hero images, because that gets you the click. That is what gets your foot in the door when it comes to the Amazon shopper. Next most important thing, in my opinion, is the title. So in the title, you want to have the right keywords, because you want to be ranking for the right keywords for keyword ranking, obviously, but you also need the right kind of information. And this is where a lot of sellers go wrong, is they just try to stuff their title with so many keywords. It's very difficult to read, and maybe they're not structuring the information properly. So what I always do is I like to put the most relevant search term for that product. Let's say that it's a microphone. So I would put podcast microphone, and then the most important describing information right after that. So maybe this is only for Macs. It's not, but let's say it is. I put podcast microphone for Mac computer, 18-inch or whatever it is. So that's super important information, because a lot of customers are looking for only that type of microphone. If they type in microphones and then they're scrolling down, they're looking, oh, I need one for Mac, I need one for Mac. That one's for Mac, so they found it, right? So that's super, super important. And the next most important thing after optimizing the title in a certain way like that, I could go into like way deeper on that, but this is more of an overview video about psychology, guys. If you guys want to go deeper into this stuff, check out some of the blog posts on kenjiroi.com, where we go much deeper into listing optimization stuff. But the next thing we want to talk about here is the main images. So it's important to have a good mixture of lifestyle images with a model actually using your product, enjoying the main benefits, some graphic design photos that are calling out some of the features. So for this microphone, for example, I might have a little zoom in bubble going into this dial right here, and it just like some graphic pops out and it's zooming in on the dial and it's showing exactly what the dial does. It's maybe makes your microphone sound amazing. That was a terrible headline, but basically it's just calling out and showing one of the benefits of the product in an appealing way. So the goal with all the rest of the main photos is it should tell some kind of story. So the story of your product should be the main benefits that the customers receive when they're using your product. You want them to almost be able to feel that themselves when they're looking through your photos. So it definitely helps. The models help a lot if it's a model that is similar to your customer demographic. You're getting the photo of them actually using your product and receiving the main benefit, like actually using it in that way. So not like holding your product, like holding it next to the camera, looking and smiling directly into the camera. Like, I see that so often and it's hilarious. You should, instead of posing, you should have your customer, maybe it's a cream and she's like applying the cream on her face in the mirror and just like looking beautiful, or maybe she's out at the beach and she has beautiful skin, she's with all of her friends, stuff like that, enjoying the actual main benefit, telling a story, right? And I just want to briefly touch on copywriting too. So that is the writing of the bullet points and the description and the title in a persuasive way that convinces the customer that that is the product that they're looking for, right? You want to sell it to them in a persuasive way using sales copy tactics. So some important things there is just always be benefit driven. Don't just list off a bunch of features about your product, like it's black and durable and all this stuff. Well, ask yourself, why is it good that it's durable? What is the benefit of this product being durable? Well, the benefit of this microphone being durable is that if I accidentally drop it on the ground when I'm moving it around, then I haven't just wasted a couple $100 on a microphone. It's gonna survive a drop. That's good. It's gonna save me money, right? It's gonna last for a long time. So talk in that way instead of just saying that it's durable and it's whatever, right? Very, very important. You can always start off your bullet points with a benefit as a heading so that people are more likely to read the rest of your bullet points. A lot more powerful than starting with the feature. And also, if you do have access to enhanced brand content, if you are brand registered on Amazon, then definitely use it, because it's going to allow you to have pictures in your description. And if you do it in the right way, you can actually try to make it look like your own website, and you have a lot more control over the message you're giving to customers. Usually increases your conversion rate anywhere from 3 to 10%. Some people even more. It really depends on your niche, how many other people are using enhanced brand content, and how good of a job you do doing it. So if you guys don't already have your registered trademark and brand registry on Amazon, definitely go ahead and apply for your trademark. You can do that on a site like trademarkia.com, starting at about $300, I think, and it takes anywhere from 6 months to a year or so. Just be aware that there probably are back-end costs on that too. Something called an office action comes up fairly often, and you will have to pay a little bit extra for that, but definitely is worth getting your trademark just for brand registry and enhanced brand content. And another thing that is super huge that people are looking for is social proof, right? So that's the reviews and the questions on the listing. If there's not very many reviews, then it's harder for a customer to actually trust something, right? That is something that is very different between Amazon e-commerce and in an actual store. You can't go into a retail store and just go see a bunch of reviews for everything. You just have to assume that it's good, or you could just like open up your phone and go on Amazon and look at the Amazon reviews, but that didn't used to be the case, right? So this is kind of a new thing. Just because the reviews are all there, customers are going to compare your product to other products that do have maybe more social proof. So if your reviews aren't good, if you have way less than your competitors, that's one more thing your customers are going to compare, and they're going to have a lot more trust for that product that has 500 reviews if yours only has 50 reviews or something like that. A lot of people say, yeah, you get over 20 reviews and it doesn't really matter after that point, 20 or 1,000. That's totally not the case. Just the data does not support that at all. You see products that have way less reviews and they're making way less sales 9 times out of 10, unless they're doing some kind of launch promotion, but that's getting a little bit more advanced there. Another super important factor that a lot of people don't take into account as much is price. That's another thing, is Amazon makes it so easy to compare the prices of items. So for example, when I'm Amazon shopping, I will open up, let's say I'm shopping for a water bottle. I'm going to open up the search results page, and then all the ones that I'm interested in, I'm just going to open them up and right click and open in a new tab, and pretty soon I'm going to have 4 water bottles open right next to each other. Makes it super easy to compare them all next to each other. Instead of like a retail store, I'd have to grab them all, bring them with me, remember the prices because maybe the price tag isn't attached to it, maybe it's on the shelf. Makes it a lot more difficult to actually compare them. But in Amazon, they're just all like right next to each other. And even on the listings themselves, the customers who viewed this item also viewed, customers who bought this item also bought. They're literally all just right next to each other, trying to get you off of your listing onto the other listing. So that's why this stuff is so important, trying to understand the psychology of someone on your listing so that they don't just get to your listing and then go click off onto someone else's listing, especially if you paid for them to go to that listing. If you paid for some Amazon sponsored ads or you paid for some Facebook ads for the customer to go there and then they ended up purchasing your competitor's product or something like that because you didn't pay enough attention to the psychological triggers that cause them to actually trust you enough to buy your product. And when it comes to price as well, I also just heard a podcast by Casey Goss of Viral Launch, the Viral Launch podcast there, where they mentioned they have a lot of data that is showing that lowering the price will actually increase your keyword ranking significantly now. So not just because lowering your price gives you the extra sales, but literally just lowering your price itself has been shown to increase keyword ranking in a lot of cases. They have data to support that. So if you guys don't already follow Casey Goss from Viral Launch, he is a super smart guy when it comes to this. Has a ton of data, and everything he says is backed by a ton of data. So really smart guy to follow if you're into that kind of stuff. All right, that's it, guys. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope I was able to help you out a little bit. I want to end this off with a challenge to you. This will help you understand the psychology of shoppers a lot more if you pay attention to your own psychology as you're shopping on Amazon. So I don't know about you guys, but I shop on Amazon a lot for my own stuff. It's just super convenient, right? But whenever I'm doing it, I'm always paying attention to my thought process. Like, whenever I decide that a product is not for me and I close it off, I ask myself why. Why did I just close that off? What was it that gave me the final decision? When I'm comparing two products together, I'm asking myself, why am I leaning this way? Why am I leaning this way? As I'm scrolling down our listing page, I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking for a certain piece of information. What piece of information am I not able to find on this listing? And so if you're really conscious of the way you're personally shopping, it gives you a really good insight into probably what your customers are thinking as well as you're scrolling through Amazon. So I challenge you guys to be conscious of that and do that whenever you're Amazon shopping. And if you guys want to learn any more of this listing optimization stuff in depth, I went over it, a lot of it really quickly in this post. There's some more in-depth stuff on the KenjiROI.com blog. There's stuff about product photography, going a little bit more deep there, as well as the copywriting optimization stuff. So head over to KenjiROI.com/blog to check those out. Hopefully you guys learned something today, and we'll see you guys next time.